my channel. My name is Mae Renfroe, and yeah, welcome to this video and to my channel. If you're new, I'm glad to have you here, and you're taking the time to catch a video of mine. I talk about a lot of different things, from motherhood to homeschooling, just good old hope and encouragement, spiritual insights, and just whatever bigger small topics that I talk about, just to be an encouragement in your walk with God and in life in general. So yeah, welcome to this video. And this one, I'm kind of talking about the thing that is just all over our world right now, that is totally overtaking our conversations and our thoughts, is this the pandemic and the jab, the vaccine. And just that, like, even for me personally and my family and just my kind of friendship stuff, that is the big thing that we're talking about. So I can almost trust that that's probably the same for you in your relationships in your household too, that maybe it's something you're wanting to avoid, and you're able to just like, we're going to think about other things, and that's good. And that's what we really have to do, is just try to think about other things, keep our minds above and on the things of God and the things that matter, and just focusing on what are we to be doing, now, in these times when we can tell, we must be drawing closer. There's a lot of things happening, drawing closer to the coming of God, of Jesus' return, and just, and realizing, okay, what do we need to be focusing on, doing more of, maybe less of a lot of things of the world that we have been allowing to consume our time and consume our energy, or maybe our money. So less of some things and some more of God-focused, kingdom-focused, people-focused, to evangelize and to be a light, and just, less things that are consuming, our time that isn't of Him, and that's going to be lasting, and it's not lasting and life-giving. It's not benefiting us spiritually or anything. So that's kind of, so that's, I'll get into this, that I'm going to be really talking about, kind of what's behind, all of this stuff that we're hearing, that's more than meets the eye. So I don't know, what you've heard so far, or how you feel about it, and where your stand is, I'm just going to share what's been weighing heavy on me, and kind of what I know, and kind of what we're thinking at this point, and so I can be encouragement and everything to you. All right, so just kind of get into it. I know that we're not even hardly supposed to be using the word, the vaccine word, in a negative way. I've understood that's why people refer to it as the jab, as the pinch. I hear people say they do that purposely in their videos, and in their things that they share, especially on Facebook, and in their writings, even they'll say the jab, the pinch, and we all know they're talking about the big, the V word, the vaccine word. And so I'm not sure, I'm just going to use the word vaccine in here once in a while, or different ways to mention it. But I guess because we're not supposed to say anything negative about it, right? That's a big bad thing, and they don't want to hear anything negative. The government is pushing it, so that's right there is kind of a red flag. If you considered that much too, that we're not supposed to be saying anything negative, anything that is like not for it, and what the government is pushing for. We're supposed to keep quiet and kind of not know anything, just fall for it, just like, whatever, this is what they're saying, this is what we need to get for our health, this is, they want us to have it now to keep our jobs, and to keep going, to keep life normal. This is what we got to do. We want to stop the pandemic. And so unfortunately, so that's what you cannot even supposed to hardly talk about the vaccine. So that's crazy. So what I'm wanting, to hit at, not to be, I don't want to be down in the dumps, but too much, but just it's weighing heavy on me. Just that is being this thing that is all over the world, all over, affecting everybody, basically, young or old. It's hitting. They're wanting to push it on children really bad now. They said the older ones were the ones that were more, what's the word, when they susceptible to getting, say, COVID and being infected by it, and so they need to be having that already needed, and then now they're saying, oh, the children got to have it, and it doesn't even make sense, because younger you have better immune system, and the especially the youth, and in your 20s, whatever, young and any of that age, and then the children, they're They're good, and now they're pushing it. All of that, they're just pushing it. Doesn't matter, they're saying it right down to 7-year-olds. They can get it. So, okay. So I could just go all over the place and just keep going on and on. I don't want to do that. Um, but yeah, it's just weighing heavy on my mind, and then that's what I said. It's consuming everything, our thoughts. Like, okay, how far are they going to go? What next are they going to make us have the vaccine in order to be able to do? And I have a brother that just lost a job now because needing to have the vaccine, and it's so close to home, right? And it's hitting a lot of places, a lot of businesses. Places you never would have thought it seemed like it would affect. Military, medical fields, schools, colleges. It's just all over. So, yeah, I'm thinking we need to keep our eyes wide open. It's not a time to have our head in the sand. And there's just things that is not, that is more than what meets the eye, more that's what's on the surface and what the media wants to make you think. There's much deeper, much more to it, as we're hearing. There's this was a planned pandemic, basically. So they call it a pandemic is what a lot of people are saying, now. And so, there's a big thing behind it. And I'm not going to be just, I guess, saying all that. I'm just saying, I know it's like, I really believe it is true. The things that they're saying about it, you can tell. I mean, you yourself, if you've heard all this being forced on everybody, and it doesn't matter if you have immunity because you had COVID, they don't care. No, you still got to get it. It's just, so there is something, right? And so I'm just saying, so I want you to do your research and to maybe look up those videos on your own and try to find, definitely do your research on that. But there is more. I just encourage you to stand your ground, be strong and be courageous. Do not fall for anything, just because they're saying doing it. Don't fall for that pressure, even if, my encouragement is to keep, because now people was getting it for their health, right? They're like, okay, we're going to help prevent the COVID. We're going to stop the COVID spread. Okay, we're going to get it. Now it's not about health anymore. It's gone to where people that didn't want to get it, but they got to keep their job. They want to travel, whatever, so I'm just encouraging you, just get your ground wherever you stand on that. Just take that stand and do not fall. Do not cave in. And just keep doing your research. Seek God's wisdom. Get in His Word and pray without ceasing. Pray. For His wisdom, for His direction, for His guidance, for His strength to be able to stand. And just trust and rest in God. He said that these things would happen in the world, but that He would never leave us nor forsake us. And that He will triumph over the wickedness of the world. That He will win. He's already won. Be of good cheer. Take heart. He has overcome the world. Greater is He that's in you than he that's in the world. We just got to do our part. We got to love God with all our hearts, with all our soul, with all our mind, with all our strength. And we must be lovers of His Word and of His truth. This is one of the characteristics of God's people is to be lovers of truth. If we love God, we will love His truth. It goes together, and we got to in these times. We've got to hang on to that truth, the truth of His Word, and the what we know to be true. When we start hearing these things too about all this craziness that's going on and the things that they're planning, on doing, let's not then. It can be want to kind of stay away from that, because like, oh no, what could the government really been lying to us? Could they have this deception? They really had this all planned. Like, oh man, we don't even want to hear it. And that can happen. We don't want to hear it. Sure, it sounds horrible and awful to even think that. But no, we got to want the truth and desire the truth. And if that truth shows, can hurt and shows that, oh man, we've been lied to. They did not have our best interest in mind. If that's so, but don't let that consume you and overcome you. Just know who does have your best in mind. Do know who's on charge and control, and this is not taking him by surprise. As I said, that He said these things would happen. He said these things, world would go crazy. There would be turmoil and tribulation like there's never been before. He's warned us of that, and He said it's coming. But He said, but in me you will have peace. The world may be shaken, but in me you will not be moved. You will not be shaken. You can stand strong in me. Yes, there's going to be tribulation and persecution, but I have overcome the world. Be of good cheer. Take heart. And, He's going to be with you right to the end. And all that we need to be doing is loving Him with all our strength, all our might, and loving him and loving his word and loving his truth, and then be sharing that and being a witness to others as long as we have time and breath and life, and just keep doing that. Keep holding on and keep sharing that hope with others. There's a scripture that I would like to read, a little passage that I've just thought of myself when I was hearing some of the different videos and stuff of the craziness that, they're hearing, that is kind of this all tied to it, that the government has planned, in the world behind the vaccine and all that. And this scripture came to my mind. I remember there is isn't there a verse that says, it'll send them a strong delusion or something? I was like, I'm going to look that up and read that. So I've got, so that's in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and I've got just a few verses here, but I'd recommend you reading all of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, all of that. It's talking about the end times, and then first chapter of 2 Thessalonians is 2. So just really good. Really good. Matthew 24 talks about the end times and a lot of stuff that's happening. So those are some ones I would want you to read, besides here in 2 Thessalonians and then Matthew 24. So I'll read this. For the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now restrains will do so until he is taken out of the way. And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, with all unrighteousness, deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this reason God will send them a strong delusion, that they should believe the lie, that they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And that was 2 Thessalonians 2, 7 through 12. Wow, I can't just understand, all of that and just explain that all to you. But, wow, it's talking about the end times, and that there's, that Satan is going to be doing his work. There it says the coming of a lawless one is according to the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteousness, deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And then for this reason God will send them a strong delusion, that they may believe a lie. So it's something that sounds like God is definitely allowing Satan to do, and it's because they did not have a love for the truth. And that's why I mentioned we really got to love the truth, really love the truth in God's word, and the truth, what is right, here, and just be open to realizing that the government has been doing things that, is not for best interest, and there was more plan behind this, definitely. And so then just to want the truth, to uncover the truth, to search for the truth in that, and the truth of God's word, and to believe his truth. And that God has said right here that these things would definitely happen and play out at some point nearing the end. And that's why I really believe we are getting right there. So I just want you to stay alert, get in his word, research, find. There's different places that talk about the end times, as already mentioned, and just really researching, and just so we kind of know, it's not, we don't never live in fear. Like I said, the world can be shaken, but we will not be shaken, right? We're strong in God. We know who is holding us and keeping us, and we know the plan he has for his people, and that we just got to keep hanging on right to the end and stay strong and true to him, and also just to know what's happening so that we can be alert and not be kind of consumed by all of that's going on, so we will not be shaken and not be ready to believe the lies and the deception. I just want to emphasize again, just our research, and research some more, on all of that before just going for it. If you haven't already made your stand, if you haven't already, either way, just don't settle for it, and and expect that what you hear on the mainstream news and the media is the truth. They won't, in so many ways, and times over the years. There's things, if they didn't want the people to hear, they keep it hidden as best they can, so what you hear is not always the truth out there in the mainstream news. Some things that they just don't want you to know the truth on. So And when we know more, the more that we hear on all this, I think it's very good to share it and be bold and be strong. And don't worry if you know we're going to have those that are ready to, they're not going to like it, that kind of see the other way. But I think we just do our part that we can in love, share that in love, make others aware that do want to know, there's ones that do want to know the truth on this, and will be, be like, wow, I didn't know all that. I want to know. I want to make this stand best interest, for my family, and all. And then when you share, you make it more bold and strength for others to share. Because recently I have seen some videos is being shared, and someone was bold enough to go and do that and say those things, and I'm like, wow, good for them. And they make strength for someone else. Other people will come forth and say with their story of things that is going wary with the vaccine, the things that maybe side effects, symptoms, and things, and they are thinking this is not good. They're going to be, you strengthen someone else when you share that, and you're bold. You're going to strengthen someone else to do the same, and that's what we're going to do. We got to be in numbers. We got to stick together. We got to be together in this. We're going to encourage each other to keep our strength, to keep strong, to keep looking up to God, the giver of strength and the giver of peace. And so let's stand together. Let's make our stand, and to be ready to share it with others. And if you get kicked off media platforms, I guess don't worry. I have a friend that already has been in different things, and she just said she's really to still keep sharing the things that she knows to be true about all this, and she wants to be able to warn others, and so I just want to encourage you that too. Just to keep sharing it, and with love, and realizing that not everyone will want to hear it, because for those that have always believed in the medical system, that the medical system has had our best interest in mind, and all that, then we don't want to hear anything negative, right? It's just kind of like they're saying that they don't have a cure for cancer yet, when there's so much money going into that, and what I can see is that there's too much money in it, right? So why would they want to find a cure? And there is a lot of things that can be a cure. I've heard essential oils, and there's different things that are supposed to definitely can cure cancer, I guess, caught in the right stage. And so, though, I guess, right? And then just saying that we can't always believe that the money rules and drives things, right? And so just to be aware of that and be on guard, and that's the way it is for this thing too. It's the same kind of thing. And just that we can't trust in anything in this world that's not lasting. We can't trust in anything in this world system, and a lot of the leaders and stuff, we can't trust in money. All of that can crash overnight, and they can the government stuff can have agendas and things that we can't trust in, but we can trust in God. And so don't let that consume you. Don't let that worry you, even though it is something we talk a lot about in our family, just because it's like everywhere and it's kind of dominating everything. We're not in worry, and we're not in fear over it. We're just wondering, how far is this going to go before it all goes down, before it all goes over, because there's more and more things coming out about it, and more things. People are being more bolder and stringing it up, and you're hearing things in the news, right? People are like willing to lose their jobs, and high up jobs too. They're willing to lose their jobs to speak up for the truth on this. And I just love to see that. And we just know at some point, okay, this is, it's getting out there too much now. People are just seeing, okay, there's got to be something behind this, when there are just keep forcing the vaccine, just keep forcing it and forcing it. And they're wanting everything. I've heard the term that everything that moves, they want jabbed. So, you can definitely see. And so just, where was I going with that? But again, but not in fear, right? We're not. We're just wondering when it's gonna all come down, and when the Lord's coming. We're just wondering how close are we to the end? We're just like, okay, we know we're getting there. There's prophecies being fulfilled. We know we're getting close. We want to be alert and make sure that we're found faithful. And I want to encourage you to stay strong. Again, just stay in the Word. Have different believers, that are you feel that are strong and sincere in the Lord, that you can get that encouragement and and get, strength, and strengthen each other. You got to find your strength in the Lord. Only He can give you that strength and that peace. No one else can do that for you, and no one else can have a relationship with God for you. But you can just have your people that help hold you up, and keep encouraging you, and keep your stand when the going gets tough, which it will. It's going to get a lot tougher before He comes. He said there would be great tribulation that was never has been and never will be. So we know it's going to be some tough times, but we're going to hang on, knowing that He is in control, and He's conquered the world, and then we will help each other stand, and just encourage each other. Okay, well, as I kind of close this up, I just want to encourage you to keep trusting in God, the giver of life, our creator, our protector, our strong tower, our provider, our refuge in time of trouble. So we can just, we can keep trusting Him. We don't have to be shaken at the things in this world. And yeah, be brave to share the truth. When you share the truth, you give voice to someone else. You give voice, you enable them to stand up and to be strong as well. And we're, and the reason of doing it is for the better of everyone's, of our health, and for the good of everyone. Really, just to stand strong for what we know is right. When there's a lot of deception, there will be a lot of deception, a lot of false prophets, a lot of evil in the world. He said there would be. Again, like I said, but He has overcome the world, and we're just to take heart in Him and be of good cheer. So, all right. I hope this has been good. I hope it's not been all over the place, and that you have understood me, and then you can contact me over my website and blog. And if you want to ask me any questions, or contact me more, that would be great. And I just want to be an encouragement in you with your walk with the Lord, and to keep strong, and be aware of these crazy evil days that we live in, and to trust the one that is holding us and is in control and knows tomorrow and what it's going to bring. And He's with us all the way. We don't have to be worried. All right, take care. God bless.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.